Sorry to interrupt you there, Daniel.
That's okay. I was trying to tell people to leave. I'm glad you did.
Gosh.
Don't leave yet. But wait, there's more.
Yes, exactly. Daniel always likes to cut me off. You notice that? That's, man, takes my time in segments a lot. And then it's like, oh, wait, John's going to host something. All right. So we're getting back to our segment of the top 20 best-selling board games of all time. Last time we got through a total of 2 of them because there were some real classics. We had Risk and Catan, Settlers, whatever you want to call it. But today, I think we might get through quite a few because we might just zoom through these. But anyway, number 13 on that list is what we're up to. And it sold over 38 million copies, my friends. Came out in the great year of 1985. Some awesome people graduated high school that year. And the game is Pictionary. I remember playing Pictionary when it first came out, and I really thought it had an advantage for people like myself. I have a little bit of an artistic flair to me. And so people be freaking out trying to draw something. I just go, okay. Somebody, so that's a sock. Yep. It's like, it's not that hard, but you know, when you can only draw stick figures, I think you're at a disadvantage. I don't know. What did you guys played Pictionary? What did you think of it?
Okay, so I gotta first of all jump in here and just say, like, I do not understand how it's 1985. Like, that should have been like 85 AD. Like, how is that not like one of the oldest games of all time? Someone just like draw a picture in the dirt and like, what am I drawing? Like, it has to be older. Like, yes, the Pictionary officially was published in that blah, blah, blah. But, like, this game has to have been played for ever.
Yeah, this is the first time it was licensed, probably.
Yeah. You know, this might be one of the oldest games because isn't there a passage in the the Bible about Jesus drawing?
That's what I was just going to mention. He was drawing in the dirt.
What he drew. We're still playing it.
That's right.
Actually, Pictionary is fine. But like Chris said, it's just why buy the game? You can just draw a picture and guess what it is. But Telestrations, I think, should replace Pictionary. And I think given like 20 years, 30 years, I think it will. Because Telestrations is great.
It is. And it's funny you thought that too, because I actually thought the same thing. And I thought we were going back to the previous segment. I was like, replacing the classics. Yes, Telestrations replaces.
There you go.
Anyway,
my problem with Telestrations is like I feel like there's always that one person that just wants to cause chaos and like the game and like that's what ruins it.
Well, they just put random words on the
right. So,
for those of you that don't know, Telestrations is a mix-up of Pictionary and the telephone game.
Yeah. It's really fun to play with kids because their interpretations are just bonkers.
Sure, that's actually that's pretty good. That's fair.
But that's Pictionary.
That's Pictionary, baby. Okay. Coming in number 12 with over 40 million units sold and came out in the year 1883. How about that for an old man game, Chris? The game Othello. And I'm going to wear my heart upon my sleeve here when I say I have never played Othello.
Oh.
The pox upon me for a clumsy lout. I'm sorry, I'm quoting Othello.
I was going to say that's a Shakespearean character.
Did you know that quote was from Othello, the heart on the sleeve? Wearing your heart on the sleeve?
I thought you might have done that on purpose.
But anyway, I've never in this. Don't the little, isn't it basically checkers which you flip over the pieces? I don't know.
You gotta like trap. You gotta trap the two colors. Like if you have like 3 blacks, but then you have a white at either end, then all the blacks turn into whites, which pieces. And actually, my only experience with this game was through Mario Party. Actually, it was Mario Party on GameCube. It was one of the mini games you could play. It was Othello. Yeah, if you won the game, you got to pick a place on the board. And so you would always try to, get as many or like 5 in a row or whatever. I don't know what it was exactly, but yeah, Mario Party. It was really good.
My experience with this game goes way, way back.
1883?
That's right, 1880. Back to the
part of the beta test. 1882.
Beta test.
No, my parents had an 8086 or an 8088 IBM green screen computer, very similar to like an Apple IIe.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, an old computer, and they had a version of Othello you could play on that. I remember playing that as a kid and thinking, "What is this crap?"
So you really enjoyed it.
I've always liked it as an abstract, but I mean, it has its flaws, but it's fine. Whenever I see it, I always think about the game Abalone, and I think I've talked to you guys about this before. It's another abstract game where there's like yellow with white and black marbles, and it's kind of on this like hex grid type thing, and you're pushing them back and forth and trying to push them off the sides. And I don't know, it's also really good. Obviously on the list, and we're talking about Othello, not Abalone, but it's a great game as well. In case anyone's played that one.
To Othello, I say, I kiss thee ere I killed thee. Sorry, it's another quote. But moving
Same
on
to
from
me.
I thought you're
Othello.
crazy. So.
Moving on from Othello. Number 11, with over 50 million units sold, came out in 1960. The Game of Life, the classic spin the spinner, move the car game. And I don't know if you guys have played the newer versions. The old versions that I played when I was a kid were actually kind of fun, and they had decisions you had to make. And you're like, oh, should I buy the life insurance? Should I go to college? Should I get the health insurance? Should I do that? And if you did, sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. And just like in real life.
Just
And
like in
so
life.
now it's, I don't know if you played the newer versions, it's spin the spinner. Every space does something and it's just random. And it's okay,
Oh.
there we go. And it was kind of fun too, because, you know, when you're a little kid, 7 years old or whatever, oh, I got married. I'm sitting up here. My wife is in the back corner. So, as you had kids, they kind of crept up closer. Get back there. Don't make me pull over. So that's the way we played life. How about you guys? Did you have any life experiences growing up?
I
I
didn't.
did not have the same experience of putting my wife and children in the back. Now, what did routinely to happen to me always was like I always would land on the have the kids thing like over and over. So by the end, I'd have like 2 or 3 cars full of children.
Oh, nice.
It was very interesting. Apparently, Andy decided to actually do that in real life.
Yeah, there you go.
I only got 4. Only 4. That's not that many. No, so I didn't play the Game of Life very much, honestly. Honestly, looking back on it, it reminds me kind of for whatever reason, it reminds me of the game MASH. Do you remember the game MASH? Totally different game.
Like
oh,
the TV show?
The MASH and like
yeah, you like and do the
little
with
thing,
the
yeah,
thing or whatever, and or maybe that was something totally different too. Anyway, yeah, it was
completely
all
different game, same age time frame though. Yeah,
yeah, say about trying to find out who you're going to marry, how many kids you're going to have, blah blah blah.
Right.
And the other thing it reminds me of, these are all just random thoughts. Sorry guys, I just have random thoughts. That's what I do. Was the old cereal? Do you remember the old cereal life?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Their tagline. It's still something I use.
He likes it.
Yeah, and they'll say, I use this to this day. People ask, what time is it? And I go, it's time for a healthy breakfast. This
There you
time your
go.
kids will eat it. So that's what I think of when I think of the
Very
Game of Life for whatever reason.
All right.
Do you
Daniel,
got
anything
a
from
real
you, buddy?
take about life, Daniel?
No, I don't have anything. I've actually never played Life.
You've never played
I-
okay, so I really am serious. We should play the game. Like the old. Do you have an old version of it, John? Still?
I do not. No.
We need to find an old version of it. 'Cause
Yeah, you
it
got to
was-
get
it
an old
actually
one. The
was-
new ones are garbage.
It's
Now, I will
ridiculous,
say-
but it's fun.
I will say that I've heard from everybody I've known in the gamer world that it was replaced by an actual good game called The Pursuit of Happiness that came out.
It is a good game.
which
Yes.
Pursuit of Happiness was replaced by the networks for me because I wasn't a fan of the message that Pursuit of Happiness was. And it was, if you get rid of your wife, you'll
No.
have a happier life. I
That
mean,
is not true.
that's 100% what it is.
That
If
is
you
not
got
true.
married, your joy would go, or like your health would go down or something like that.
No.
I feel like
Once
that's what
again,
John was
Daniel
trying to do by putting her
completely
in the back of the car.
misrepresents a game.
No. What it is, you have to spend resources to maintain all your relationships. So if you run out of resources, the easiest thing to do is get rid of your wife.
Kill your wife.
That's right.
And then that causes stress, and that makes your life shorter. That's what
Oh,
I
happens.
don't know,
Stress.
but I want to play this game now. This sounds fantastic.
Oh, I've got it. We got to play it. It's a blast.
The truth is, Daniel, that it does take a lot of work to maintain a relationship. So in that sense,
It's true.
maybe
It
has
takes
some-
work and time, and that's time is your resource in that game.
If you
So,
want to make a marriage work, you can't take the easy way out.
that's right. Yeah,
But if
can't
you want to
off
win
your
the
wife,
game,
Daniel.
you have to divorce your wife.
No, you don't. That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm sorry.
That's
Not in
Anyway.
real life, in the game.
no, it's not even true in the game. Anyway, that's not the games we're talking about. All right, moving on. Number 10. We're up to number 10. Can you believe it? We might get through a couple more.
Number 10.
This one should go pretty quickly. Number 10 with 50 million units plus sold, came out in 1950. The game, how do you folks say this at home?
Rummy
Cube?
Cube.
Rummy Cube?
Let me cue.
Is that just Rummy or is that something else? I've never played this. I don't
Oh,
even know.
it's
I'm
the
not even
cubed
aware of it.
version.
It's a what?
Cubed version of Rummy.
A cube version of Rummy.
I
Oh,
thought it
well,
was a
Chris
cubbed
would like it.
version of Rummy.
Or Cubbed.
So who's played
I,
it?
I know nothing about this game. I really enjoyed Rummy. I really enjoyed Rummy as a kid. Like, but so and I've heard this is like Domino's Rummy or something like that.
I don't know.
That- Chris
Right,
has
that-
played it. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I've not played it, but this is what I've heard too. I see the game all the time, like, and I'm just like, and I go to like like non-gamers' houses, and they always have it.
Really?
So like, I don't know, like, but then non-gamers like playing Rummy and stuff. But yeah, I've heard the same thing, Daniel. It's like Rummy and Dominoes kind of put together, which I guess if you take like two kind of games and put them together, they're a game. I don't know.
Gosh. Well,
Yeah.
Randy, our producer,
either.
apparently owns it. But what, Andy, have you played it?
No, he hasn't played it either.
Great. So the first one on the top 10, none of us know anything about. Maybe this should have come up in show prep. I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's get one more in here. Number
we
9.
just lost points. That's ridiculous.
Hey, we all lost a point. That's awesome.
Nice. Number 9 is, I'm sure everybody's played this one. Also, right about the same amount, a little over 50 million units sold, but a little bit more than Rummikub. Came out in 1949. Candyland, the classic that sells for like $2.50 every Christmas. And but I tell you what the best thing about Candyland, I don't know if you guys have done this, is playing it with your kids. And I always do voices for all the little people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Lord Licorice. So whenever he gets sent backwards to one of those places, you got a nice little thing. So everybody had, King Candy was the royal guy. I'm sure Andy did the same thing.
No.
Wow.
So, yeah.
My wheelhouse.
Candyland is barely a game. And I will say this, I had my niece, and she was probably like 6 years old, and she loved board games. She still does. She's like 16 now. But we were playing Candyland, and halfway through it, she just looked at me and goes, Can I do something else now? And I said, yes, you can. And we put away Candyland, and we never played it again.
I absolutely I've never heard anyone defend this game except with the well, it's good for teaching kids their colors. Like that's it. Like that's the only redeeming thing I've ever heard people say about this game. Like no one can like just straight up say I enjoy playing. I've never heard anyone say that because I'm
going to give you 2 substitutes for Candyland.
Absolute luck.
That's right. I'm going to give you 2 substitutes.
Like
one is
Chutes and Ladders doesn't have any more agency, but I'd still rather play it.
Is Chutes and Ladders even on this list? I was just looking. Did we cover it already?
No.
Or is it even on the list?
Well, that's it. That's spoilers from Andy. Thank you.
You know why? Because Chutes and Ladders is the old man, ugly version of Candyland.
I was going to say,
everyone's like, "Oh, I got to get the pretty version of Chutes and Ladders." Is Candyland.
I like Chutes and Ladders way better.
Well, I'm going to tell you 2 games.
Random.
The only thing I can say about Candyland is it gave me the opportunity.
All right, let Daniel say something.
Daniel wants to say something. Go ahead.
2 games that replace Candyland. If you want to teach your kids color that have more agency and fun, it's Hoot Owl Hoot, from I forget what the publisher is. I'm sorry. And then the second one is from Monza from Haba. The game is called Monza. It's a racing game. You roll dice, and they have like colors on them. And then you move your car, those colors. And then there's like, you can choose like, I rolled white and blue, and I'm next to a white and blue. So should I take this path, or should I go this path? So you actually are trying to optimize like what you roll based on the color. So if you want to teach colors, try those 2 games. Or Monza and Hoot Owl Hoot.
Are you sure you're not talking about Bad Company there, Daniel?
Well, they're for kids. They're for tiny kids.
I know, but I'm just saying this sounds the exact same as Bad Company.
Wow.
You roll the dice.
Gotta get in more
this
hits,
way on the track or this way on the
Bad
track.
Company.
So Candyland provided me the opportunity to use something called Andyland.
There we go.
In my marketing in the past. So there's
there you go.
In your marketing. That's
that helps.
Well, yeah,
that helps move along the conversation. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
I always
Speaking
said
of moving along in the
like
conversation
Andyland.
here.
Andyland's like Candyland, only Andy's there and he ate all the candy.
That sounds like a real life.
Yeah,
All right. That's enough on the list. We'll get to the rest of them. Maybe get the rest of them next time. Maybe we'll only get through 1 or 2.
Wrap it up. Who's the winner?
But I was hoping I'd do a good job closing it out and I'd get a point or 2. But let us know what you think of these games that are on the list.
Hey, thanks for watching a clip from Around the Board. It's a show that comes out every other Thursday where we discuss board games and board game topics. We're awarded points, and at the end, whoever wins gets to be on their soapbox and say whatever they want. So if you want to watch the full episode, find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.